Wow. Um, you know what? The Sacramento Kings were not playing the Utah Jazz tonight. They were not playing the Utah Jazz tonight. They were playing a team that looks really, 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 really good in the San Antonio Spurs. Jerry, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. That was a really unique butt kick in there. As you pointed out, Spurs are a legitimate championship contender, and Kings aren't.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have Ryan join us from the arena here in just a moment once it gets set up. I don't know what else. I really thought that the Spurs might be a little lackadaisical tonight. They've won 18 of 20. They played last night. They know they're playing a bad team. I thought they might coast. They didn't do anything close to coasting tonight. They came out as if this was a playoff game, Ryno. We can't hear you, buddy. Jerry, I'll let you answer that question.
Yeah, well, I thought they did. I thought they established how it's going to go in the first 5-6 minutes of the first quarter because they got any kind of shot, easy shot they wanted, and of course, a lot of open threes. And then conversely, the Kings really couldn't. Wembanyama and their overall defense took some things away. So I thought the game, you could tell, about had to go. A difference in caliber of defenses and teams.
Thank goodness for Max Ryno, huh? He continues to just show us stuff every night.
He does, and I thought it was really impressive. Some of his hoops against Wembanyama.
Yeah.
That little quick catch and flip shot he's got is so quick. I mean, he clearly
and he knows him well. They played together for a long time.
Yeah, kind of obviously I'm from French national team, but yeah, I was more impressed with Ryno tonight I think I ever have been because I assumed he would have a tough time scoring on Wembanyama, but he really didn't.
All right, so I'm a little confused about something here. The game is over at the end of the first quarter. The game is really, really over at halftime. At halftime, Hayes only played 3 minutes. All right, and we talk about the development of the young players, and I was a little perplexed by that. I mean, the game's over. You're playing Russell Westbrook 25 minutes. You're playing DeRozan only 17, which is good. I was just a little surprised that he didn't get more time, particularly, he did late. But, I mean, I was just a little perplexed by that.
Well, would have been a good opportunity to play him more. You just signed him to another year now, although it's not guaranteed. But, yeah, Killian Hayes shown a little more than I expected when they picked him up, to be honest. I mean, his shooting is much better. Like you said, you'd kind of like to say, well, Russ, we know what you can do. Let's see if there might be a little more to this one than we first thought.
What about Nick Clifford tonight? Talk to me about him.
Just a pretty common or less than common offensive game, even though he got some points. But I'll tell you what I do think with him, he can guard people. I mean, he's the kind of guy you could almost see 2 or 3 years really being an impact defender from the wings. He has a real knack. So that's all I got there. I mean, I think there's something there. I just think offensively, you just don't know from night to night.
Yeah. All right. So, again, the Spurs, we know we're good. We know they're good. Are they championship quality good?
Yes. Yes.
Why do you say that?
Well, they've beaten Oklahoma City 3 out of 4. I'd start there, and I think they've had a winning record on Denver.
And they beat Detroit twice.
And but I mean, to get through the West is the hardest part. I really think whoever gets through the West is much better than whoever gets through the East. That doesn't mean they'll win, because as you know, getting through the West might take it out of them. But yeah, to your point, they're clearly good enough. Now they're ahead of schedule. I agree. But they've got some veterans there, with Fox and Harrison Barnes and Keldon Johnson. They've got some guys that have had some experience. So, and of course, Wembanyama is a unicorn.
He's a unicorn that 29 other teams wish they had.
Oh boy! Well, he might very well be the most dominant player in the league shortly. He's not there yet because he just kind of plays too much on the perimeter. But they're for real. I wouldn't pick them, I don't think.
But I think
enough? Huh?
Their bench good enough? You like their bench?
Yeah, their bench is good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've got, yeah, definitely Harper kid, that, their lottery
Yeah,
second
he
pick
didn't even play
here.
tonight. Yeah,
Didn't even
or
get to play.
he played 20 minutes off the bench tonight. I'm sorry. I meant he
Yeah.
didn't start. He comes off the bench. I thought he was very effective in this game.
Yeah. I mean, about every night I've seen him, he is. And
Yeah.
Keldon Johnson's terrific.
Yeah.
Fournette was a terrific pickup for that team because he gives them another big, especially Wembanyama misses games or in foul trouble. So, yeah, that was a nice pickup. And so, yeah, their depth is not as good as, of course, Oklahoma City's. Nobody's is. But I just think, the Spurs, Oklahoma City, and Denver, and I would not count Denver out once they get
I'm
Peyton
with
Watson.
you. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to say this is a dose of reality. We know about all the Kings injuries, but they got their pants beat off tonight. They were never in this game. I mean, this game from the first 3 minutes was completely dominated by San Antonio. The Kings at not one point during this game were able to do anything against the Spurs.
No, the game was over, established early, and that disappointed me really with the young players. They're getting a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
And at some point, I would not to expect to beat the Spurs, but you shouldn't be totally. Spurs didn't, they had to fight to beat the Clippers last night.
That's right.
So we know. I mean, there's just no excuse for just rolling over and playing dead early on in the game and then trying to play some level of catch up.
All right. So now the Kings have the same number of losses as Washington, and they have 2 fewer losses than the Indiana Pacers, and Brooklyn has 51. Next up for the Kings will be the Philadelphia 76ers, and they are playing tonight as well. So both teams are all the day off. They are getting destroyed right now by the Denver Nuggets. The score is 117-88 with 4 minutes left to go in that game. They're getting destroyed. So you better fasten your seatbelt Thursday for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that Denver game because the Kings game was so boring, to be honest with you. And but it was equally bad on that end. And Jokic really didn't have to play all that much. It's one of those. Philly's coming in. They're a wounded dog. Without Maxey and Embiid, they're 2 best players. I mean, they got a nice rookie in Edgecombe, but they looked about out, almost as much out of their element tonight as the Kings.
Almost being the key word there.
Yeah, pretty good almost, actually.
Well, you're right. Without Maxey, without Embiid, I mean, we get it. Ryan, let's see if we got you here, buddy. No sound. You sound better with no sound. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Yeah, for all the lip readers out there, you can tell what Ryan's talking about. We can't.
Ryan, we'll give you the night off if you want, but we can't hear you. All right. So, Jerry, Kings want. I think the majority of Kings fans don't want them to win too many games here, but you don't want them to play like they did tonight. I guess that's the point we're trying to make, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, go out there and really have a competitive, nice game, and the young guys look like they're competing with some of the better players. That's what you want to see. And say maybe take a 12-point loss and go home and relax.
Yeah. So when you look at Philadelphia, without their key guys, we're going to look at Edgecombe in person. I'm looking forward to seeing him, the rookie, who's really had a nice season. He's cooled off, obviously, a little bit. I don't know if he's hitting that proverbial rookie wall because he has played a lot of minutes. But, when you look at Philadelphia, if you don't have Maxey, he is one of the real true king killers that we've seen over the years, Jerry.
I mean, he just kills everybody. I mean, he's really moved into that
Right.
upper echelon, of scorers in this league, much like Anthony Edwards and probably with a little more playmaking skills. So, yeah, they're not the same without he and Embiid. And with both those guys, they're healthy. They could scare somebody in the East. But, it's going to be a case where, definitely the Kings should have enough ability to challenge these guys.
To me, though, it's just a matter of who's going to play for the Kings and who's not. Like, where are they with like how they're approaching these games here? But we talk about Embiid, and he didn't play tonight. Kelly Oubre is out, obviously, for a couple of weeks. Maxey has an issue with his finger. He's not going to play for the rest of this month. I mean, they're missing some key guys, and Sacramento's missing some key guys. So let's roll the ball out and see what happens.
See what happens. And like you say, I mean, be a good chance. I'm looking forward to seeing, like Ryno mentioned, Edgecombe, or you mentioned, I mean, really probably one of the top 4 or 5 rookies in the league this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, for sure. You still have Concanipple getting the Rookie of the Year?
I do. Just he's had not only had a good year, but Charlotte's had really a total turnaround. And so I should get some credit for that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because I don't think sometimes we acknowledge the impact that a young player can have on a roster. And if you look at Charlotte right now and you look at the East, they are going to be in the play-in. All right. And so for them, that's a step in the right direction.
Oh, huge step for them, because they've just been walling around at the bottom for years. So, they're probably on the right path. They're kind of like Orlando of 2 years ago.
All right. Let's see if we can hear from Ryan. He's at the arena. Ryno?
Can you guys hear me?
I got
Can
you.
you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah,
we got you.
That was cute, Ryno.
You like that? I thought you'd like that,
it.
Jerry.
I knew it was fake because I could hear the background noise. How are you, buddy?
Doing well. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. What was the crowd like tonight in terms of the turnout? Because we just saw the lowest crowd of the year against the Jazz. What was tonight like in the building?
It was much better. And I will tell you, this crowd was absolutely in awe of Victor Wembanyama. They were in awe of the Spurs as a team. The Kings were down 35 points and nobody had left. They were here to see the Spurs.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, I would have been there to see the Spurs too. I mean, that's what the season's all about right now for all intents and purposes. You know?
You know what, Grant? We've talked about it on the Fox show. Seeing this team in person, they are legit title contenders. Might change my decision if they are the team to beat in the Western Conference. They have so much size at every position. Steph Castle just has the command of the court, and I've never seen anything like Victor Wembanyama in person.
Really? Like never? Huh? This is
Never.
Okay. Jerry, you agree with that, right? We've never seen a Victor Wembanyama, right?
No. I mean, we've seen the kind of the lead up to it. I would say Ralph Sampson back in his early days was kind of the first huge guy that played a lot on the perimeter as well as inside. And of course, he didn't have the kind of career that everybody thought he would. But this Wemby's you've never seen a big guy that big that's really almost more a perimeter player, which I think might be his only weakness. I just think they need him more of a post game out of him going forward.
Yeah. Well, Philly is next. I don't know what else to say about tonight. I would say this, Ryan. We talked about this on the show today, and I was wrong. I really thought the Spurs would have a laid back attitude tonight. It was anything but that. But we were also hoping for a competitive game, Ryno, that the Kings would at least show some moxie. This game was never that. I mean, this game was over at the first time out.
Grant, the Kings only could take what the Spurs would give them. That is how much better the Spurs are than the Kings. That's why Max Ryno, who had a great night, a lot of it from the perimeter. DeMar DeRozan, who has been the hub of the offense the last couple of games, could not get to any of the spots that he wanted. Russell Westbrook could not create space. It was suffocating by the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really don't realize how good Castle is. He didn't play a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's one of the second year in the league. He's one of the best two-way players in the league right now.
Really?
I mean,
wow.
A guy can guard people. And I'd tell you right now, next to Wembanyama, I know the Spurs would say he's their second most valuable player.
That's saying something for a guy in his second year. That's what makes it scary for the West, Jerry. When you look at the two teams, forget about Denver right now. When you look at Oklahoma City and San Antonio, not only are they already good, and we know about the Thunder being the defending champs, but they're set up for a really, really long run, barring injury.
Yeah, they sure are. And that's, clearly they're establishing now that, hey, at least for next 5 or 6 years, you better count on us at the top. And that the more teams at the top, that's pushing people down.
Yeah.
Grant, barring injury, Steph Castle will be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I'm willing to
Agreed.
say that right
I
here
don't
and
disagree
right
with that.
now.
I don't
Just
disagree.
he made Russell Westbrook look small
Yeah.
tonight. And I know Westbrook's not the tallest guy, but just in terms of muscle mass and the way that Steph Castle can just get anywhere he wants, a year spent with Chris Paul really did him a lot of good.
Before we continue, what was the reception for De'Aaron Fox like tonight, Ryan?
It was pretty good. A couple of boos. Him and Harrison Barnes got very warm receptions, but Victor Wembanyama got the biggest reception of all tonight.
Well,
Oh, well.
well, how about that? Jerry, we always appreciate your input. Thank you very much. We won't torture you anymore after this game because I don't know what else we could say. Take care, Jerry. Oh my
He
God,
didn't say anything.
what a clown,
Poor
huh?
guy.
He's beautiful.
Whoa, yeah.
I don't have a lot to say either. I was watching the World Baseball Classic when I saw the score of the game. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to waste my time watching a Kings game. The World Baseball Classic was a classic. It was a phenomenal event. And then I kept on peeking back and forth at the Kings, and I'm like, there's no need to. But Max Ryno, boy, oh boy, he looks good.
He's not scared of Wemby's second or third play of the game. He went right over him, made the shot. I would just say this: tonight was not about the Kings. It was all about the Spurs, and the majority of the people in this building realized this team is something different. They
Yeah.
have not seen a team roll through the G1C like this year.
They your team to beat in the West?
What's that?
Are they your team to beat in the West?
After seeing them in person, they absolutely are.
Wow.
If Victor Wembanyama and they stay healthy, they are the team to beat in the West.
Wow. Okay. Well, that tells me something right there. You were there, and you certainly have a great understanding of the NBA. Do you think Oklahoma City is second on your list, or are you going with Denver?
Yes. No,
Okay.
Oklahoma City would be second. Denver would be third.
All right. Any final thoughts before I let you drive home and think about how awful tonight's game was?
I'm not thinking about how awful it was at all. If you paid for a ticket tonight, you saw something special. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
the Kings.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because it doesn't always have to be about the team that's the home team. The fans saw great basketball tonight from the visiting team. I'm happy you said that because that's what
Yeah.
sports is really about.
Yep. 100%. And Sacramento fans understand and know basketball. That team that rolled through here tonight, different. That's a different De'Aaron Fox. Harrison Barnes shooting. He had an air ball, but lights out from beyond the arc. That's a team right there. You hope the Kings could get there someday.
Do you see any weaknesses with the Spurs?
Not really. At the moment, everybody plays their role so well. The weakness would be can Wembanyama stay healthy? That's it.
Other than
I mean,
that, they're ready right now, aren't they? They're already ready. They're ready. They're ready to go. And again, I
Grant,
keep
they are
talking about
ready.
the future. They have draft picks. They got the Hawks pick, I believe. They're loaded. I mean, the Spurs and the Thunder may dominate the West for the next 10 years.
I'll tell you, I have not seen Oklahoma City in person yet with SGA. I can't imagine it being more impressive than what I saw tonight. Maybe as impressive, but not more.
Well, here's the other deal, Ryan. The Spurs beat the Oklahoma City this year 4 out of the 5 meetings they played. That's not an accident.
No. Yeah, all of us sitting up here, we're just like, whoa. Because you wonder if the Spurs are there, and then you see their size, you see their depth, you see how connected they are as a team. You see De'Aaron Fox playing the perfect role to Wembanyama and Steph Castle, and it's like, all right, this is it. It's pretty special.
And again, I know the Kings have a lot of injuries, but does it also depress you that the Kings are light years away from being at that level?
To a degree, but not as much because you have a Victor Wembanyama that's on that team. That's a much different team without Victor. They're a very good team without Victor, but with Victor and his unselfishness as a possible face of this league, no.
Okay. I'm looking at the way Oklahoma City plays. I'm looking at the way San Antonio plays. and I'm looking at the pieces that they have on their roster, and I'm also looking at their assets that they have at their disposal in the future, meaning draft picks and what look like are going to be really good draft picks. And barring a catastrophe of injuries, I just don't know how any other team in the West is going to compete with these two teams for the foreseeable future. I just don't. They're that much better.
Yeah, and Grant, with this CBA, things can change in it quickly if you draft the right way. But for right now, for this season, these two teams look like the real, and even you got to throw Denver in there too, but Denver's been there before. They won a championship.
Yeah.
But these two monsters, I never would have imagined San Antonio would have made this kind of jump this soon. And you know what? You got to credit the Kings to a degree for that. They didn't take a single player off of this roster when they made that De'Aaron Fox trade. So everything's lined up perfectly.
Yeah. Hard to believe, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
But pretty special stuff tonight.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3:00. By the way, tomorrow on the show, I'm having Olden Polynice come on and also Marcos Breton of the Sacramento Bee. That will be tomorrow. All right. We appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Not much else to talk about. Tomorrow at 3:00, be sure and join us on Fox Sports Sacramento. Take care.